Welcome back to CEO Money. I'm Michael Yorba. Thanks for joining with us. All right, my guest this segment is Dean Thurman. He is the co-founder of Whiteglove. Dean, welcome to the show. Glad you're here.
Thank you. Thank you. Glad to be here.
All right, you've got a really strong background in your industry sector, in the financial sector. I would like you to give our audience a feel for who you are, what you've done, and then if we could dive into how you took a company from where it was back in 2014, I think it was 4 people, to 120 employees, and the lessons you've learned along the way. I have other questions for you, but I'd like to start with that.
Sure. My main job, if you will, what I did for 29 years is financial advisor. Myself and my cousin Mike built up a very successful financial planning practice in Southeast Michigan, where we manage about a $500 million of assets and many hundreds of clients. And we've been doing that for, like I say, almost 30 years. So we have 17 support staff there. And then and by the way, we've built up our business pretty much from just doing financial planning education seminars at libraries and community centers. We did that as well as our sub reps. And then we kind of spun that off into its own business, the one you were referring to, with now actually over 130 employees, called Whiteglove, whiteglove.com.
And you have got it figured out with this. Anybody that can do what you do with that company and stands behind a triple guarantee, the G word, it's almost a sin to say it. I would really like to know more about what that company does, how you learn these lessons along the way to grow your business, so that other entrepreneurs who are trying to emulate the success that you've had can pick some nuggets of knowledge out of this interview.
Sure. It is, and thank you for the question. And I wouldn't say we have it all figured out at all. And in fact, we have a saying at Whiteglove, last week was a year ago, because we're changing things so fast, and growing so fast and learning so much, learning what to do, what not to do. We kind of call it the stupid tax. Every entrepreneur is going to pay it in the early years. But yeah, we certainly did grow very rapidly. And what Whiteglove does is Whiteglove started out just as a full seminar production and marketing firm for other financial advisors. And the reason that Whiteglove grew so fast is because of that triple guarantee that you mentioned. My cousin and business partner Mike and I took a look at how many seminars we did over the years, which is well over 1,000. And we kind of talked about what were all the things that we really hated about marketing seminars, producing the seminars, all that kind of thing, and said, how can we start a company and take away all the risk to the advisor, all the work of setting up a seminar off of the advisor, all the planning, fronting all the money, all worrying about the weather. Basically take all the pain of marketing your business through seminars. How can we take it off of them and put it on us? And so we developed Whiteglove. It used to be called Whiteglove Workshops. Now it's Whiteglove, because we offer so many more things besides just seminar services. But really, it was the business model that was the huge innovation. In addition to taking all registrations, all the confirmations, all the follow-up and everything really being digital instead of old-fashioned snail mail invitations. So what we did, the triple guarantee that you mentioned and what everybody loves, is that advisors only pay Whiteglove based on the number of attendees at the seminars that we put together for the advisor. So the advisor just has to show up at the local library or community center and go through a presentation about either Social Security or reducing taxes or the basics of investing. Medicare, we have like 25 different titles now. And they can really just be a financial planner instead of an event planner. And they also don't have to pay for any empty seats. Whereas back in the day, Mike and I had to spend $5,000 or $10,000 on printing and postage to a local zip code, and then we call it pay and pray. We paid all that money to the post office, and then we prayed that first of all they got delivered. Secondly, that people would actually read it. Third, that they would call the phone number, and hopefully we'll put the right phone number on the brochure. And then we hope that they showed up, and hope that the general public attendee, some of them become clients. So that was all. You put all the money out up front, and then you just really hope that it all worked out. So Mike and I flipped that model upside down, and we said, you know what? Dean and Mike are going to do all the work. They're going to take all the risk, and we're going to guarantee you three things. We're going to guarantee you registrations for your class. We're going to guarantee that you receive attendees at the class, that there will actually be people there. And we average about 17 households, or somewhere around 25 or 30 people at each class. And so it was a double guarantee for a long time. And then Mike and I went to a business mastery class taught by Tony Robbins, and it was really game changing for us. He said, you got to make it an irresistible offer. So he said, let's add a triple guarantee, a third guarantee, and that is any financial advisor that uses Whiteglove and pays us to produce a seminar, if they don't pick up a client, then we'll give them another seminar for free out of our pocket. So the three guarantees are registrations, attendees, and that they actually get a client. It's really unheard of in our industry, and it's been a big part of our growth. As far as what we learned along the way, man, like I said, we're still learning. We made a lot of mistakes. We would have one seminar all filled up in, like Corona, California, and then our host in Corona, Montana would call up and say, hey, how come there's nobody here at my library? And the library in Corona, California would say, hey, how come we got 40 people sitting here in our lobby? So we really we really had a lot of what we call fires. In fact, we had so many fires our first year that I would run around about once a day with a fireman's helmet on. And so we got a fire, we got to put it out. Here's what's going on with this. Wi-Fi is out there. This guy doesn't have an extension cord there. It was really chaotic. But yeah, we had 4 people when we started. We started in basically the basement of our financial planning firm. And now we have about 130 employees, great benefits, real good pay, a great work environment. So we're really proud of what we built here in Southeast Michigan.
As well, you should be. Now, tell the audience, this is, you figured out how to scale this. Tell the audience how many of these financial educational seminars you do are on average a month.
Great question. This is a record month. In fact, pretty much every month is a record month now. And we're doing somewhere over 650 seminars all around the country just this month. And each one of them is like a mini wedding. So you can just imagine how many little issues can go wrong. And you're exactly right. We figured out a way to scale it, optimize it, get through, make sure that everything is all compliant. I mean, there's so much more effort and unknown in pretty much any business. And you just have to expect everything to take longer than you expect, have more problems than you expect, and you have to, and you're going to make less money than you expect in the early years and certainly in the early months. So if you go into it with that attitude, then it's hard to be disappointed and hard to get negative on your business. So expect a lot of bad things to happen along the way. Focus on the good things, and really provide an incredible value to your client. Make them make them an irresistible offer for your product. And if you can create raving fans using your product or service, then you have a real awesome winning business model.
Great. Michael, Dean, that's all the time that we have for today, but I want to have you back as soon as possible because now that we've covered the basics, we can start drilling down into some of the real life experiences that you've had. Instead of an overview, we can tell us some details and maybe even some of the success stories that you've built over the years. I'd be more than happy to have them on my show as your guest.
Well, thank you very much, Michael. Happy to be here and happy to return and talk about all the war stories that we've been through. They're a lot of fun. I might need a couple of cocktails to not stress out over all of them, but those are all behind us now. So thank you for the opportunity.
My pleasure. All right, you've been watching CEO Money with Michael Yorba. Thanks for joining with us. Don't forget, like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Yeah, you can see that was really glitching out, eh?